for about 7 seconds, and that's pretty quick. So they need to be able to quickly identify what your qualifications are to determine whether you have the minimum qualifications for the job and whether you continue to be considered in the application process. Another reason that it matters is you fail to show your value. You have to show an employer or hiring manager how you can meet their needs, the needs of the role and the needs of the company. Another reason, your resume doesn't stand out. Today's job market is so competitive, you have to differentiate yourself from other applicants. So you need to include anything that's going to help you stand out from among the other applicants. It indicates a lack of interest in the specific role. It shows that you haven't taken the time to learn about or understand the job requirements and specifically how your skills align with what is required in the job. And finally, it decreases the likelihood that you'll move forward into an interview. Now, how do you fix these problems? First, you have to research and understand the role, what the job is, what are the requirements, what are the skills and the experience that the employer is looking for. And then you have to assess your own skills. What skills and experience do you possess? Where's the overlap? In what role, previous role, did you acquire those skills? How did you use them? How have previous roles or experience prepared you for this one? And then focus on the skills most relevant to the specific job. And following that, customize your resume to match the job descriptions, the requirements of the job. Use language from the job description. Show how your skills and experience relate to the role that you're applying for. Mistake number 2, having typos and bad formatting. The problem is you've got errors on your resume, it's non-consistent or unclear layout. Why it matters? It presents a negative first impression because your resume is your first impression to the employer. And having typos and an unclear layout demonstrates a lack of professionalism, a lack of attention to detail, and a lack of commitment to quality. It signals the type of work that you would perform. It makes you appear careless and unqualified. So it distracts from the content and the message that you're trying to send. It raises a red flag for employers about whether you have the communication skills that are required. A red flag about your work ethic. What kind of work ethic do you have? And finally, your suitability for the job. Then it causes difficulty in reading and understanding your qualifications. Again, back to the fact that a hiring manager initially reviews your application for only about 7 seconds. So it's going to hurt your chances of passing through the initial screening or applicant tracking system screening. And it increases your likelihood of being rejected. Employers receive hundreds of applications for open positions. So what they're initially trying to do is reduce that number of applicants that they have to focus on. So they're looking for any reason that they can find to weed your application out and to reduce the size of the applicant pool. So if they see errors, they see bad formatting, they're not going to take the time to try to figure out what you were trying to say and what you did. They're just going to put that application to the side. So that's why it's important that you have no typos, no bad formatting, no errors, spelling, punctuation, grammatical errors, that those don't exist. Now, how you can fix these errors? Proofread, proofread, proofread. I can't say that enough. Don't rely only on spell check or grammar check. You can use programs like Grammarly, Hemingway Editor. Grammarly is an AI writing assistant that helps you improve your grammar, spelling, punctuation, and your writing style. Hemingway Editor helps improve your clarity and conciseness of the content that you're writing. Present your job achievements using bullet points. Not a lot of writing, not sentences, not paragraphs, but use bullet points because it helps clarify and makes it clear what you did, and it helps make it easier to read. Begin each of those bullet points with a strong action verb so that the hiring manager can understand what you did, how you did it, and the outcome you achieved. And use metrics whenever possible. Problem solve. Any initiatives you introduce, any money that you saved, how much money you saved the company, money that you made the company, any increase in sales, percentage of increase in customer satisfaction. How did you help do that? Percentage increase or the percentage decrease or number decrease in wait times or processing times, or the number of persons served or seen. You want to use information like that. That helps to clarify what you achieved in the job. And then have a simple format. Most people usually read from left to right and top to bottom. So make sure your resume is set up that way, that an employer doesn't have to jump here and look there for information that they need. Use standard font, no fancy fonts, just keep it simple. Have plenty of white space. When I say no paragraphs, you want to leave some white space in there to make it easier to read. And use a PDF format, unless an employer asks for something else. Your resume should be 1 page in length. So that's not a lot of space. So you want to use the most important information, most relevant information you have to that job is what you want to include on your resume. It shouldn't be overcrowded, and you should omit anything that's not relevant to the job that you're applying for. Mistake number 3, omitting skills, not including relevant skills on your resume. Why that matters? It shows that you're not qualified to do the job. So you want to include any relevant skills and experience on your resume. It also could influence your salary. Even if you get the job and you haven't included all of your relevant skills on your resume, you may come in at a lower salary than you could have received had you put all of your skills on the resume. And then it could, if you don't show that you're qualified for the job or you have the qualifications for the job, it could eliminate you from further consideration for the position. So make sure you include all your skills. Now, how you can fix that? Include relevant skills, all of your relevant skills. Look at the job description, review the job description. It will identify the skills and experience and other qualifications that the employer seeks. Include skills from employment, from school, from volunteering, extracurricular activities, internships, clinicals, all of those skills that are relevant to the job, you need to include. Transferable skills, highlight those as well. Skills that are not industry or job specific that can be applied across any industry or any job. And examples of those would be communication skills, teamwork, collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, leadership, time management. Include those transferable skills as well. Now, to be effective and to move forward in the application process, resumes should be customized for the job and the role that you're applying for. They should include relevant skills for the role. They should be error-free and formatted to best highlight your qualifications. The purpose of the resume is to get an interview. And that leads you one step closer to the job. All right, that's our Career Tip Tuesday for today. Let's see if we have any questions. Jerry, I can't. Did we have any questions in the chat?
I don't see any.
Okay. All right. So since there are no questions, our contact information, the Center for Career and Professional Development, or CCPD, we're located in the Stat Center. That's building 122 in suite 119. You can scan this QR code and get our information. And our phone number, all of that is listed here. If you want to scan that, we'll leave it up for a few seconds. All right. We're happy you joined us today. Our next Career Tip Tuesday is on September 23rd. That's in about 2 weeks from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, when the topic will be getting organized for your job search. So we hope to see you back here then. Thank you for joining us today for Career Tip Tuesday.